These are the 4 situations and the 2 ways that you can tell if this is happening. If you or your child has type 1 diabetes and you're not quite sure if your insulin is working how it should, I want you to pay attention to this video, especially if you're dealing with lows or highs. This will make a difference. I'm going to teach you 2 strategies and show you 4 blood sugar examples of how to know exactly what's going on. The strategies, it's one thing or the other. It's going to be your total insulin versus timing of insulin. Total versus timing. If you understand this video, it's going to change the game for blood sugar management. And if you don't understand this concept already, I haven't seen it taught in endocrinology clinics, which is unfortunate, but I think this will make a difference for you. I didn't say this. My name's Maddie. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm type 1 diabetes specialist coach. I've worked with hundreds of individuals. I know this works for them. It also works for me. Total versus timing of your insulin. What does this mean? Total insulin is how much insulin we had. Let's say we had some units of insulin, however many units, put a number there. Timing of insulin is when we take it. We'll talk about a prebolus in this example. Now, number of units. If you don't have enough insulin, what's going to happen? You go high. If you have too much insulin, what happens? You go low, right? We know that. That makes sense. What about prebolus? Prebolus. If you're not familiar with this concept, bolus. Bolus is to take our insulin. Pre is before. So to take our insulin before whatever is potentially spiking our blood sugar. Let's say that it's a meal in this example. 4 blood sugar situations that you might run into. Number 1, let's say that this is, by the way, this is our blood sugar graph and this is where we want to be. Let's just say this is a 100 blood sugar if you're milligrams, and let's say this is like a 6 if you're in millimoles. You take your insulin. Let's say we're taking our insulin here each time, and let's say we're going into this with a steady blood sugar. We have a perfect, no insulin on board already, steady blood sugar, no other factors impacting us. It's a good day. If that is the case, then 4 things will happen based on your total and timing of insulin. Let's talk about the total. If we don't have enough insulin, no matter what happens, we're going to go up and stay up. And if we have too much insulin, we might spike, but we might drop. Now, these are the first 2 situations. These are situation number 1 and 2, and that's related to just the total insulin, the units. If you have too much insulin, you're going to go high. You're eventually going to need to correct. If you take too much insulin, you might have a little bit of a spike. You might not. We'll talk about that in prebolus in a sec. But no matter what, we're going to go low. It was too much insulin. Now, that's total. I think that makes sense to a lot of us, but here's the tricky part. Timing can also play a factor here. Let's say we don't prebolus and we have not enough insulin. What will happen is we have a super spike and we're stuck up there for a long time. Hopefully we level out. It may look a little different, but we super spike super quick. See how quick that is? That's because our insulin timing was not in play early enough. Prebolus, the theoretical textbook recommendation of all endocrinology clinics ever is 15 minutes for a normal fast-acting insulin. If you're not sure what kind of insulin you are on, please comment down below and I'll make sure that we figure that out together. Ultra fast-acting insulins might not need a prebolus. If we spike super quick and we stay high, that's not enough insulin at the right time and not enough insulin total. Now, if you do this, have you ever done that, right? Where you maybe start to come up, oh my gosh, you tank, and then all of a sudden you're like shooting up into the super sky. If that happens, what might have happened is you might have had insulin too far ahead of time. Your prebolus was too much, so you didn't get the carbs digesting before the insulin was acting, so you go low. Now, in this low, one of 2 things happens with everyone I work with. Either you wait it out, which feels awful, and then you might climb back up later, or you have carbs here because you're supposed to have a low stack, right? But then you super spike and then you're stuck up here somewhere for a while. If that happens, then all of a sudden what that means is that you prebolused too early, the insulin was too active, and then you went low, you had some extra carbs, but theoretically maybe our total insulin was correct, but now you've added carbs, more carbs into the mix. So our timing was off, which then threw our total off. Let's run through this again. If we don't have enough insulin, we go high. If we have too much insulin, we go low. If our insulin isn't taken early enough, we spike quick. If our insulin is taken too early, we drop. These are the 4 situations and the 2 ways that you can tell if this is happening. I encourage you to look at your pump report or your CGM report if you wear some of that technology, and see if you identify any of these trends. And if you're unsure of how to look at it, I have a program called the T1 Dream Life where I teach a lesson like this every single week so that you understand your blood sugar without needing anyone. I don't want you to need me forever. What I want to do is I want to teach you so well, so effectively, that you can be your own manager of type 1 diabetes. Like I said, I use this all the time. This helps me a lot. If you're unsure of any of this or have questions, comment down below. But for now, I'm so stoked. If you made it all the way through this video, thank you. And I hope that this was helpful. Follow, share, etc. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.